Hi, I'm very glad you stopped by this page because I have a very interesting story to share with you. When you clicked into this, you were looking for a solution to fast weight loss and a slowing metabolism, and of course, you'll get one. More than one. But more importantly, you'll become enlightened to the importance of lifestyle and more precisely, change. The scene begins with a victim of a slowing metabolism, already in her mid-40s, following a life-changing, out-of-the-blue heart attack. Melanie Sanchez was forced to lose more than 35 pounds in a little under 30 days. Exactly how is it that Melanie was able to do this without liposuction, hazardous diet pills, or what could be argued as an implausible amount of fitness training, you're probably wondering. You see, as of right now, she's looking younger than ever. Disintegrated her unwanted fat and feeling more energized and happy than she ever thought possible. As is the case for many middle-aged women, before discovering the secret to weight loss, youth, and energy, Melanie was burnt out from attempting to stick to strenuous, tiresome, and ineffective workouts and diets so-called fitness experts had urged her to try. The discovery, which would change her and millions of women's lives worldwide, occurred in a revered university located in Massachusetts. This solution was so revolutionary, so unheard of, that upon becoming enlightened of it, I immediately dropped everything and devoted myself to sharing it with the rest of the world. In the next couple of moments, you'll find out the most important and detrimental beliefs about diet and nutrition which have been proven to worsen your metabolic rate and cause issues in your heart and inflammation in other parts of your body. Beliefs that make you assume salt is the figure behind fat. Beliefs regarding seemingly harmless vegetables, which in fact are linked with thyroid discrepancies and stomach fat. In spite of the hours of cardio you've been doing, beliefs rooted to the famous Dr. Mernola make dangerously over-intensive cardio and exercise seem good for you, despite having backward side effects, including heart scarring and an increase in the rate at which you age and wrinkle. Keep on and discover the scientific, tested truth about fat, sugar, and gluten-free products. And reduced carb diets are in fact causing you to gain weight, and the amino acid duo behind body fat that exist in seemingly healthy foods. As disturbing as it probably sounds, in this book that I am sharing with you today, you'll find out the trans fat carrying acids, which a significant amount of alleged healthy products are being injected with, are ruining the body's digestive and metabolic rate, clogging receptors, which are responsible for the formation of thyroid hormones, specifically in females, which causes the body to retain unsafe amounts of fat, primarily in the stomach and thigh regions. But on the bright side, if you stick with me to the very end of this short video, you will hear some secret fat diminishing methods you've been waiting for your entire adult life. Just as a warning, you might want to be careful about where you're clicking because a false click may cause you to lose the opportunity to discover information that will likely save your life. Literally, you're about to be exposed to precisely the fat-killing process that has been proven to effectively and forever burn away fat on your problem areas, drastically improve your energy levels, libido, and increasing your immunity, and decreasing your risk of several of the most feared metabolic disorders, including diabetes and heart disease, as well as a virtually halting symptom of aging, all in just a couple of weeks. This secret to weight loss will give you a full body and lifestyle change, and does not utilize any sort of drug, workout, dietary plan, or scamming product subscriptions or plans. As a plus, you won't even need that much of a push to get started. It's that easy. This method is effectively for an infinite variety of ages, sizes, and level of health or how fit you are. Everything you'll find here is scientifically backed and follows the proven psychological factors which guarantee effective results. What most of us, including myself a couple of years ago, as how incredibly malicious and greedy the weight loss industry is, the sheer volume of fat loss lies that we take as fact is both astounding and frustrating. It is infuriating to know that companies such as Atkins and Weight Watchers are purposely misleading and hiding the truth from the public for monetary gain. As a result of these huge companies, every ounce of what I thought I knew about nutrition and weight loss is false. I had to travel internationally in order to find out what you're about to learn in this video. And trust me, it'll change your life just as much as it changed mine. When you discover the truth, you'll be reaping all the benefits in just a single week. Picture yourself waking up in the morning to a new sense of purpose and vitality. Whether you're 40-something or facing your late 60s, you'll be able to burn all of the belly fat on your stomach. Your body is going to feel decades healthier, and all the effects of age you thought you were stuck with will disappear like magic. Say goodbye to the abnormal and chronic joint pain, high blood pressure, among many other of the seemingly inevitable parts of aging. The method that I'm getting ready to tell you about will seem so basic, something will make you feel cheated for never having heard it before. The results you'll see in the mirror only a couple of days after using this program will be so incredible, you'll wonder why most of the civilized world has not been exposed to this fat melting technique that has been hidden right in front of us. Initially, I was sure that whatever it was just another useless scam meant to lure in those of us desperate for a solution. But when I was able to see for myself the astounding results, I was convinced. I've been gifted with the honor of seeing Melanie's weight loss journey and complete body transformation. And now, the growing number of people at my weight loss camp experiencing for themselves these ridiculously effective weight loss techniques. Still, after sharing these secrets to so many people, I'm still, if not more sure than ever, that this method will give you the healthy body and vitality that you never thought you would be able to get back. The even more incredible thing? This technique will, in addition to everything else, detox your body of the toxins, radicals, and other substances your body has been building up and declog the receptors in your body responsible for keeping you energized and looking and feeling youthful. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, this method has been proven to fight and prevent virtually every symptom and disease that may come into effect as you age, lowering your age cellularly to that of someone in their early 20s. This was precisely what happened to Megan from Tampa, Florida. She was able to burn off 32 pounds in an incredibly small amount of time. She recounts having gone shopping and being amazed at having dropped 6 dress sizes. Similarly, Smith from Jacksonville, Florida, in just under a month and a half, was able to lose 39 pounds. He reports currently saving more than $200 a month as a result of no longer being dependent on his diabetic pills. Or Cindy from Phoenix, Arizona, losing more than 30 pounds in the first 4 weeks of testing out this revolutionary weight loss method. There's also Richard from Philadelphia, New Jersey, who burnt 20 pounds and has the body and vitality of someone half his age. Listen to what Kelly from Los Angeles, California has to say. I was extremely touched by your video, specifically near the end. At the time of seeing your presentation, I had just been diagnosed as 30 pounds overweight and high blood pressure. I thought I was done for. Although I was initially unconvinced with the video, once you described exactly how it worked specifically in a way that even someone like me could understand, I decided I would give this whole thing a chance. I am so glad I did, because since then, I have lost 8 pounds a week. As crazy as it was to my doctor, I am no longer diabetic. I'm extremely overwhelmed with how effective this was. Thanks so much for trying to get this secret out there to people like me. These are only a couple of examples of the many tens of thousands of results from those who have tried this project, and I'll be sharing some more in a moment. Backtracking a bit, I wanted to explain how this whole thing works, and exactly what it does to your body and life in general. And even though being labeled as a celebrity trainer by my peers, rubbing my elbows with top fitness information gurus, and transforming men's and women's bodies at some of the largest weight loss camps in the country, looking back at it almost feels surreal. It's all so crazy to me. What's even crazier is the recognition I've received, being titled a big authority on weight loss, and being known for my ability to work with some of the most difficult clients and succeeding. Honestly though, I'm just like you. I was just lucky enough to have discovered a secret which was able to drastically transform Melanie Sanchez in her mid-40s into an almost unrecognizable new woman. I'll tell you something, Melanie says that she's in the best shape of her life, looking younger and happier, and having so much more energy than she's remembered having in the last decade. Of course, just like you, and I, for a time, Melanie had doubts. Despite looking and feeling almost half her age, She wanted medical confirmation. Melanie went to Los Angeles-based medical clinic and underwent an intense, detailed physical through keen lab analysis. Doctors officially determined that despite her actual age, Melanie's anatomical makeup was just 26 years old. Coming from the mouths of the world's most revered medical minds, this was pretty darn extraordinary. It's just ridiculous to remember that only a couple of years ago Melanie was overweight, diabetic, and diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, and tired and unenthused from morning to night. She recalls having dealt with MRI scans so difficult, doctors wouldn't allow her to drive herself home. Of course, Melanie wished she could be healthier, but she lacked the motivation after long days at work to go to the gym. She didn't recognize how bad things really were, and it all happened practically in the blink of an eye. She recounted the incident in June of 2012 that almost killed her. Melanie was jogging with her daughter in the park, training for a 3K marathon, the first in her life. Gradually, jogging became more and more difficult. Melanie thought she needed to push herself, and in turn, she tried to train harder and harder. About 15 minutes into a run one day, she felt burning in the right part of her stomach, and her chest was pulsing in pain. She fell to her knees, breathing unevenly, against everything her body was telling her, though Melanie drove herself to run one more mile. This was where everything went bad. Melanie hadn't recognized the signs. There was something wrong with her heart. 5 days following this event, on a Saturday, Melanie experienced pain in her chest that arrested her breath. She'd eaten Mexican food that afternoon and dismissed it as heartburn. She took a couple of antacids before the pain reached her arms. She went online in hopes to diagnose what it could be, and her searches fell on one suggesting her symptoms were that of a huge heart attack. Melanie immediately recognized that she needed to get to the emergency room, telling her husband to stay home in case her stay at the hospital was prolonged, so that she could take their daughter to camp. That day would completely change the course of her life. June 8th. Melanie was pre-diagnosed with heart disease, which was assumed due to her weight at the time. So many things went through her head at that moment. She was unable to sort out her emotions, creeping into her body. She left the doctor's clinic in silence, attempting to process everything. She couldn't sleep that night, lying awake wondering when the last time she would see her daughter would be, if she would see her graduate. When gradually, she became angry. She realized the possibility that all the things her life was meant to have, like getting her degree, gaining traction on her business, and raising her daughter to be the young woman she'd intended her to be, could all be cut short, stolen from her in the blink of an eye. She said goodbye to her daughter the next morning as she boarded her school bus, tears filling her eyes, as she wondered how many times she would be able to do this. From that day on, Melanie was determined to change. She thought it would take just losing a couple of pounds. Gradually, though, her clothes became tighter, fat collected on her stomach and thighs, her body gaining weight faster and faster. She became ashamed of her body, attempting to hide it from her own husband. Prior to the chest pain she began experiencing regularly, she was starting a bunch of the fitness and diet systems that were being promoted by the media, such as gluten-free and low-carb. However, these breakthroughs of weight loss, such as Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, and so many of the stuff that are advertised so adamantly, even by celebrities, has to do with limiting what you eat and how many calories you consume. Melanie truly believed she was doing the right thing, but what weight loss systems don't want you to know is restricting calories only causes your body to retain energy and to try to store fat. This causes her to feel hungry and winded from starving herself while still gaining weight, seemingly even faster than before. You see, carbs are almost always villainized. However, without them, your body will become hungrier faster and therefore pushed into survival mode, making it think that it needs to store whatever little nutrients it is given. Melanie's lack of muscle growth, despite her diet consisting of plenty of greens and consistent exercise, was being hindered as a result of not having the required nutrients and protein, which allows your body to build muscle. She feels wronged by the weight loss crazes she bought into, like Weight Watchers, Paleo, and Beachbody, which only waste her time, energy, and money. She told me how systems like 21 Day Fix had meal plans that just weren't filling and always left her feeling hungry and lightheaded. The portions she was rationed were so minimal. She talked about being unable to prevent herself from eating by the afternoon. During this time, she was diagnosed with abnormal LDL levels, or bad cholesterol, and her doctor warned that she was teetering on the brink of heart disease, with triglyceride levels dangerously high. After the diagnosis, fear and depression seeping in, Melanie began weeping to herself in the hallway, unaware of her daughter just behind the doorway. As if understanding, her daughter came up to her, hugging her, and whispering to her, "God is going to give you a miracle, so don't worry." The following day, doctors explained to her with a hard expression, "Melanie, you need to lose 30 pounds in these next 4 weeks, or your heart will almost definitely shut down. Your heart is becoming unstable, your blood pressure has skyrocketed above the healthy amount, and your diet and exercise have been lacking extremely to the point where invasive surgery is no longer an option. Your arteries are clogging, and you're very close to some sort of heart failure." Melanie was utterly incredulous. She didn't hear her doctor's words as a warning, but a death note. Her fate was sealed, she thought. In the last half a decade, I haven't been able to lose more than 10 pounds. What are the odds I'll be able to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? This story isn't here for you to feel bad about a story of some middle-aged lady victimized by weight loss companies. It's here for you to understand how quickly this sort of thing can progress, and how victims of it are rarely aware until it's too late. Melanie understood her symptoms as a sign of age, not death. In a way, they're similar, because as you age, your heart becomes weaker, your arteries more and more congested with fat, and your body gradually shutting down, to the point where you're practically choosing the engravement on your gravestone. Melanie was ushered to begin to organize life after the worst would almost inevitably come. The most horrifying part of it all, however, was having to tell her 9-year-old child that she might not have a mother in just a couple of weeks. Her daughter, rather than look confused, as Melanie expected, repeated knowingly, "Don't fret, Mommy. God is going to give you a miracle." Despite not being an extremely religious individual, Melanie truly wanted to believe her. This would have been a very unfortunate ending for this woman, if not for the seemingly God-given miracle of a coincidence that almost ended my life, hadn't saved hers. The memory is as clear as day for me. September 11th, 2001. 2 planes flying into the World Trade Center. Tens of hundreds of people running and jumping for their lives, many of which did not make it. Through all the emotions I was forced to feel that day, half a decade later I was uninformed, prepared to enter Iraq in order to save my country. Days after we touched down, I pushed my men and women to the extreme in order to get their bodies prepared for combat. However, my work as a trainer was almost entirely a failure. These soldiers were all in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s, each peppered with conditions and diseases ranging as far as the eye can see. Barely ounces of fat were shed, and in my desperation for answers, we attempted to drink as much water as possible, then cut off carbs entirely, and then eradicated salt from our diets. Nothing was working. My soldiers were all hungry, miserable, and frustrated with me and their unchanging bodies. Suddenly, a miracle occurred. A boy from Thailand, only in his late teens, an ex-student from Harvard Medical School, revealed to me a secret which he had refused to keep classified, causing his termination from the Ivy League school. The boy, Dusit, told me that he'd seen me around, training my soldiers and feeling stupid and frustrated in the futility of my actions. Unable to resist, he came to me explaining, "I can see how hard you are working, but your methods are causing reverse results. Your exercise regimen is strenuous and much more than necessary, and the carbs in your soldiers' diets are a third of what they should be. Taking salt from their meals isn't helping their bodies burn fat, but store it." Of course, as would be expected, I was immediately skeptical. However, after hearing the scientific explanation of it all, I was truly hooked. He explained that middle-aged individuals, such as men and women who I was training, were going through metabolic acidosis, or the inability for your kidneys to filter food acid in the way that it should. This is why older people tend to store more fat and lose the ability to burn it easily. No matter the extent of your physical activity, water consumption, or any other extreme methods which Western Hemisphere and many other parts of the world are convinced of, you will not be able to burn fat. Despite having been accorded a highly distinguishing award for his medical breakthrough in curing obesity in both younger and older age groups, I was not yet convinced of Doucet's statements. Determined, he asked me, what happens when trash is not thrown out and left in your kitchen for a couple of days? I replied, everything will start to smell and rot. He answered, surely. Now, what if rather than only days, this trash is not disposed of for months? I responded, maggots would appear and the scent would become that of a rotting carcass. Ecstatic, he said, precisely. This is what happens in our bodies. He went on to explain that acids are the cause of all these weight loss struggles. A body which has overages in acid will attempt to retain fat in order to prevent corrosion of the immune system, resulting in issues in the metabolism. As buildup occurs, so will fat, as well as the throbbing pains of chest, clogging of arteries with fat, and in turn irregular heartbeat, and in worst, but not uncommon cases, previously good cells, will become carcinogenic and cause irreversible heart damage. Even more interestingly, recent studies show that individuals existing in larger groups, specifically those in the Western Hemisphere, are more inclined to experience stress. Stress has been linked with the production of cortisol, an acid that is secreted during events where the body may feel triggered in some way, such as during divorce, financial problems, and virtually anything which most of what many of us consider part of our daily lives. More so, many of us are guilty of irregular and unhealthy snacking, which disrupts that regular digestive and metabolic cycle that we're supposed to be going through. Side effects may include sluggishness, tiredness, and lack of motivation. A majority of us find ourselves losing a couple of pounds, then bouncing back faster than we remembered getting there. Doucet glanced towards the defeated faces of men and women in front of us. He gripped me firmly by the shoulder and stated, I know precisely how to end the obesity plague that is attacking our population everywhere. My university dropped me because I refused to hide from the public my findings. However, I still possess the binder containing all of the herbal and mineral guidelines, which have been proven to attack approximately a tenth of the body fat on individuals who are middle-aged. This technique should take effect in only 3 or 4 weeks. In it is every recipe for youth enhancement and flushing out the nasty buildup in your body in the form of a smoothie that you'll ever need to know. The hyper-secret herbal remedies and mineral treatments, a yummy diet guide, the fruit vegetables that contribute to the thyroid issues, and exactly what you'll need in order to crank into shape your metabolism in just 3 days. In addition to a compilation of some of the best tasting sweets and light meals that are only allowed in our meal plan. More, I've included the incredible nutrient that effectively simulates your libido and energy, and more accessible from your smartphone or virtually any device. These methods and remedies are all available via downloads and can be printed an unlimited number of times within just 3 minutes of right now. This revolutionizing and until now unknown lifestyle changer is only a single click away. Right now is when you need to make your decision. If somehow you've not yet been convinced by everything I've told you, keep in mind that this tiny investment is completely 100% 60-day entire refund, 0 obligation guarantee. I recognize that what I'm saying, that the substances that you've been told to run from, like salt and carbohydrates, sounds too good to be true. If the fact that I could share thousands upon thousands of the very same success stories that even the people telling them wouldn't have believed hours ago, I'll give you something else to chew on. There's only one reason I'm here today to talk to you. And that's because I realize how significant of a life change this is. And I'm willing to do anything it takes to keep you from falling through the cracks and passing up an opportunity to change, if not save your life. I'm begging you. Make the decision. Just to press the Add to Cart icon. You'll receive the full, unrefined manual of revitalization smoothie recipes, a hyper-effective fat-burning schedule, methods to reset your digestive system and metabolic system, the herbs and minerals that will take your body by storm, a 4-minute belly fat destroying video explainer and the foods that are actively destroying or could quickly be restoring your health and burning fat. Discover all it's going to take to finally live life to its fullest, best form. Listen, just test out this system for an entire 2 months. And should for some reason you feel that this product has not lived up to your expectations, all you're expected to do is submit an email to the address listed on the download page, which will be provided, and a fast, hassle-free refund worth twice what you've invested will be provided. You probably thought you misread that, but no, we really are going to give you back the money you paid. Should our system fail you, that's just how sure we are that it's going to work. I'm completely okay with going entirely against what I've been advised to do by experts. Because I'm trying to change lives, not to get rich. I'm here because I have a solution that I think is worth everyone's time. And if there's any chance that I'm not, I refuse to be the one to rob you of your hard-earned cash. This shouldn't be a hard decision, but this offer that I'm sharing here today won't be here forever. Everything you need to know about shredding body fat in just 4 minutes, which can be done just before you go to sleep. The herbs and minerals your body craves, which restores youth and helps your acidified body bounce back, and the smoothie recipes which aid in fighting aging and weight gain. Get started now by clicking the Add to Cart button below. Just imagine if my site was taken down tomorrow and I couldn't share with you all the powerful herbs, fat-diminishing minerals, and nutrients you've been desperately searching for. Which means, if you are ready to stop dieting, stop starving yourself, stop wasting your life at the gym, stop being a slave to your medication, you must act now by clicking the Add to Cart button you see below this video screen. The video you're seeing right now is going to terminate in a couple of seconds, and the choice is now purely in your hands. Do you want to change, if not save your own life, via this entirely risk-free deal? There's nothing stopping you from clicking out of this presentation, from opting out of this offer. I'm going to say one thing now, and that's that if you do, your life is going to go right back on track. And that track is leading straight to misery, obesity, and eventually heart failure. If you click away, you'll bounce right back to those terribly misleading infomercials about diet pills, excessive regimes, and even more useless, greedy corporate products. You'll wake up tomorrow, still diabetic, experiencing inflammation, back and body aches, feeling insecure and unhappy with your body, and just as tired and dejected as you were yesterday, probably more, when you regret having passed up this offer, and trust me, you will. There will never be a second chance to discover what it truly takes to burn belly fat, revitalize and detox the body, and reset your metabolism in order to lose the weight and keep it off. Every day, you're going to get one step closer to a stroke, heart disease, or heart failure. If you've not already experienced one, at any moment, you run the risk of becoming the fate of what would have been Melanie Sanchez, abandoning her own daughter because of her own negligence, simply because she didn't believe how unhealthy she really was. What I'm saying, and will only be saying for one more time, is that you need to click Add to Cart and try the Fat Shredder Pro system now, before it disappears forever. Find out all the diet regimes for a flatter stomach or more prominent abs, the smoothie regimes that will help you cure the acidity of your body and help you boost your energy. Discover all you need to know about what you should and shouldn't be putting in your body, all at a complete risk-free guarantee. This decision is in yours and only your hands. Still lingering on this page? If you're having any inquiries, I have below a list of FAQs for you. Question: what's causing me to keep gaining back the pounds I thought I lost? Answer: When you start to work out, you're focused more and more on that goal, and that's often the distance rather than the lifestyle change you're going to have to make. And that happens in the mind. When you fall back on old habits, it's because you have not yet committed to what it's going to truly take to have the body and lifestyle you want. Temporary fixes are a no-go for the Fat Shredder Pro system, and we ensure that you'll be up for the job. What's the first week of using the Fat Shredder Pro system going to be like? Over each passing day, you'll recognize exactly how basic and easy this method is, and how the herbs and minerals it uses will be actively revitalizing your body day and night. Although results may vary for every individual, people who've tested this system will usually attest to experiencing a boost of energy, decreased joint inflammation, and sudden inspiration and excitement to tackle the day, and just a general feeling of happiness and motivation. What about minerals, nutrients, and other tips and recipes included in this system help me? How can simple minerals, nutrients, smoothies, and eating more carbs benefit me? As I've already said, there are a ton of different foods that the food industry has tricked you to believe are good for you, which in fact are actively preventing you from losing weight due to the missing substances in your body that are included in the system. What does the Add to Cart button do? After you've chosen Add to Cart, located beneath this video, we'll transfer you to a highly secure page for you to order. As soon as your information is accepted into the system, you'll be granted instant access to all that the Fat Shredder Pro system has to offer. This information can be downloaded via virtually any mobile device, such as a smartphone or laptop. This copy can be recopied an unlimited amount of times. What exactly does your 100% risk-free guarantee entitle? Well, when this program was able to save the life of Melanie Sanchez, then so many other people I couldn't even begin to try to learn the backstories of, I was convinced of its authenticity. More, I realized the power I now held in my hands in order to change the lives of hundreds, thousands, maybe millions. Now I'm going to the very extremes to get as many people on the track of healthy living. I took out the risk and the worry from the equation because I'm just that confident. Either way, I'll get my product to more people. After you add to cart, you'll receive 2 full months to test out our system. Should you, for any reason, request a refund, 1 email, and I'll immediately return your investment 100%. When will this program stop being distributed? This is difficult to say. Of course, it's in my and Deucet's wish to be able to continue distributing and saving lives. However, it's equally safe to assume that there are hundreds of huge diet companies which are actively seeking our shutting down. 1 lawsuit and we're gone. Poof. Just like that. What I'm saying is that now's not the time for hesitation. If you want to take charge of your life, do it right now.